The roar of the crowd is deafening, a mixture of anticipation and disbelief hanging in the air. A battle between two of the most feared fighters in history, but this isn't a tale from the past. This is a face-off between raw power, relentless determination, and the unthinkable Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, taking on Michael Chandler, the modern-day wrecking ball of mixed martial arts. The stage is set for an explosive clash, but the question remains, who will come out on top in this legendary showdown? Mike Tyson, once a boxing prodigy, a man whose punches shattered opponents and dreams alike, has become a symbol of ferocity. His legacy in the ring is immortal, but could a man who once dominated the sport of boxing find himself in a different kind of war, one that demands not just power, but agility, endurance, and a multifaceted game plan? Tyson's story is one of a young, prodigious athlete whose name became synonymous with destruction. His path was one of meteoric rise, followed by personal and professional struggles, yet his unyielding will never left him. But now, as time has passed and new challenges loom, what does a clash with Michael Chandler mean for the former heavyweight champion? Enter Michael Chandler, a fighter who has built his reputation in the world of mixed martial arts with an unrelenting pace, a style that blends wrestling with explosive striking. He's the epitome of modern MMA, combining speed, technique, and strength in ways that leave his opponents gasping for air. Chandler's rise through the ranks has been nothing short of spectacular, facing some of the toughest names in the sport and surviving, even thriving, in the most brutal moments. His fast hands, unbreakable spirit, and ability to adapt make him a formidable force. But against Tyson, does he have what it takes to come out on top? The tension between these two fighters goes beyond just skill. Tyson's aura of invincibility still looms large, even in the present day. But Chandler's confidence is undeniable. He knows that in the cage, there are no guarantees. And as the bell rings and the fighters square off, the stakes couldn't be higher. Tyson, once the most feared man in boxing, is stepping into an arena where every rule is different, and every fight is a new challenge. Chandler, who thrives in the chaotic world of MMA, is about to face a man who's seen the highest highs and the lowest lows, a fighter whose legacy transcends sport. As the two combatants take their positions, the crowd watches in stunned silence. The stage is set, the lights are bright, and every eye is fixed on the octagon. The first punch could change everything. The first step, the first move. Who will take control of this fight? Will Tyson's raw power prove too much for Chandler's quickness? Or will Chandler's MMA skills dismantle Tyson's legendary boxing? But there's one question that lingers above all others: who will emerge victorious when the dust settles? As bell rings for the first round, the atmosphere is electric, almost as if time itself has slowed down. Tyson and Chandler stand face to face, their eyes locked in an intense stare that speaks volumes. The roar of the crowd fades into the background, and the only thing that matters now is the fight ahead. Tyson's first move is swift, his legendary left hook, a weapon that has felled many before. But Chandler isn't fazed. With a lightning-fast reaction, he ducks under the punch, countering with a clean overhand right. It's clear from the start this is not going to be a one-sided affair. Tyson's power is undeniable. The way his fists seem to crack the air before they make contact is a testament to his brutal strength. But Chandler isn't just relying on technique. He's mixing in his patented movement and footwork, constantly staying just out of reach, making Tyson miss and pay with his own strikes. Every time Tyson steps forward, Chandler steps back, making Tyson chase him like a predator after its prey. But what Chandler doesn't expect, what no one can prepare for, is the sheer intensity of Tyson's power when he connects. Each shot that lands sends a shockwave through the ring. A jab here, a body shot there, and Chandler starts to feel the weight of the former champion's punches. His head snaps back, and for a split second, the crowd collectively holds its breath. This is the moment when everything changes. Chandler, ever strategist, begins to adapt, taking Tyson's best shots and staying in the pocket just long enough to land his own. It's a battle of attrition, each man pushing himself further than the last. Tyson, though, begins to show signs of frustration. His legendary stamina, which once seemed endless, is being tested like never before. Chandler, with his speed and endurance, begins to control the pace, picking his spots and avoiding the big shots that could end it all. Fight has turned from a showcase of power into a chess match, each move calculated, every second a new gamble. But then, the unexpected happens. Chandler, in a move that shocks everyone, takes Tyson to the ground. It's a slick takedown, a perfect demonstration of Chandler's grappling ability, something Tyson has rarely faced in his illustrious career. The crowd erupts, not in the roar of excitement one might expect from a takedown, but in stunned silence. Tyson, who had never been tested on the mat before, is suddenly in unfamiliar territory. The air is thick with suspense as Chandler secures top position, working his ground game with precision. Tyson struggles, trying to escape, but the more he moves, the tighter Chandler's grip becomes. As Tyson fights to free himself, a realization starts to settle over the crowd. This isn't just a fight for supremacy, it's a fight for survival. Chandler has taken control of the fight in a way no one predicted. Tyson's strength and conditioning may have made him a legend in the ring, but now he's up against a fighter who brings a complete arsenal to the table. The stakes have never been higher. In the corner of the octagon, Tyson's coach looks on with a mixture of concern and disbelief. The man who once took the boxing world by storm now finds himself in a situation where brute force alone may not be enough. He's being outpaced, out-wrestled, and outsmarted. Chandler, on the other hand, is calculating every move, thinking several steps ahead. But as the round progresses, something shifts again. Tyson, though pinned on the ground, isn't giving up. His resilience, his will to win, has always been his most dangerous weapon, and now, in the face of overwhelming odds, it starts to show. Tyson begins to power his way back to his feet, shoving Chandler off him with a burst of strength. The crowd gasps in awe as the two fighters stand once again, sweat pouring from their faces, their bodies battered and bruised. It's clear now neither fighter is willing to back down. The fight has become more than just a contest of skills. It's a battle of hearts, of who can endure the most, of who can withstand the pressure when everything is on the line. But just as Tyson seems to gain momentum, Chandler lands a quick knee to the body, followed by a left hook that cuts Tyson's eyebrow. Blood begins to drip down Tyson's face, and for the first time, he looks human, vulnerable. It's a sign that the fight is taking its toll, and with every passing second, the tide seems to shift ever so slightly in Chandler's favor. But Tyson, despite the blood streaming from his face, doesn't flinch. He comes forward, once again throwing those ferocious punches that can turn the lights out in an instant. Chandler, however, isn't the same fighter who entered the ring. He's adapting, reading Tyson's every move and countering with precision. And then, in the middle of the chaos, Tyson does something no one expected. He smiles a rare, wicked grin that sends a chill down the spine of every person watching. It's a signal, not just of confidence, but of a man who knows the fight is far from over. The bell rings, signaling the end of the second round, but the question that lingers in the air is this: who is truly in control of this fight, and who will have the last word when it all comes crashing down? The third round begins with both fighters exhausted but far from willing to give an inch. Tyson's movements are slower now, his breathing labored, but his eyes still burn with that familiar fire, one that has terrified opponents for decades. Chandler, too, is feeling the effects of the brutal exchange. His pace has slowed slightly, but his confidence is unwavering. As they meet in the center of the octagon once again, the crowd can feel the shift. This isn't just about strength anymore. It's about who can outlast the other. Tyson's eyes lock onto Chandler as he lunges forward with a combination of punches, hoping to land the perfect shot. Chandler ducks and dodges, his footwork sharp as ever. But then, in a move that no one could have predicted, Tyson lands a monstrous uppercut that shakes Chandler to his core. The sound of the impact echoes through the arena, and for a moment, time seems to freeze. Chandler stumbles back, disoriented, his legs wobbling beneath him. Tyson, sensing an opportunity, surges forward, throwing everything he has into one last effort. The crowd holds its breath, waiting for the inevitable. But Chandler isn't finished yet. With a last burst of energy, he manages to clinch Tyson, pulling him into a tight hold to stop the onslaught. The two men struggle, muscles straining against each other, each trying to gain control, each knowing that the next mistake could end it all. As Tyson attempts to break free, Chandler shifts his weight and expertly throws Tyson to the ground, slamming him with a thud that resonates through the arena. The crowd gasps in disbelief. Tyson, the indomitable, the legend, is now on his back. For a moment, it seems like Chandler may finally have the upper hand. He moves to secure a dominant position, looking to end the fight once and for all. But Tyson, ever the survivor, isn't going down without a fight. In one swift motion, he sweeps Chandler's legs out from under him, flipping the position and scrambling back to his feet. The look in Tyson's eyes tells the story he's not done yet. Chandler, though reeling from the unexpected reversal, quickly regains his composure. Both fighters now stand at a crossroads. Tyson, though battered, knows that this is his final chance. He's been here before, facing seemingly insurmountable odds, but his heart has always driven him forward. With a roar that reverberates across the arena, Tyson surges forward, launching himself with everything he has left. Chandler, too, rises to meet him, throwing one last flurry of punches. It's in those final moments, when the two combatants collide with everything they've got left, that the unexpected happens. Tyson's punch, meant to end it all, is met by Chandler's counter, both landing simultaneously. Tyson's right hand connects with Chandler's jaw, and Chandler's left hook crashes into Tyson's ribs. The impact sends both men sprawling to the canvas, unable to continue. The ref counts 1, 2, 3 before he signals the end of the fight. In the end, neither man wins. The crowd is stunned into silence as the realization hits. These two warriors have given everything they have, and neither can stand the other's wrath. They've pushed each other to the absolute limit, testing their bodies, their spirits, and their very will to fight. It's a draw, no clear victor, no final champion. As the ref raises both their hands, the audience erupts in a mixture of awe and disbelief. Tyson and Chandler stand, bloodied and battered, but still standing heroes in their own right. They've proven that in this sport, it's not just about winning, it's about the heart, the desire to keep going, no matter the cost. The fight has ended, but the respect between these two warriors will never be forgotten. In the final moments, Tyson and Chandler share a look, one that speaks of mutual respect, an unspoken acknowledgement that neither of them could have walked away unscathed. The crowd roars, and as Tyson exits the cage, his legacy intact, Chandler watches him go with a quiet smile. In the world of combat sports, there are victories that can't be measured in titles or belts. This, in its own way, is a victory for both.